Welcome to Talking Balearics with me, Martin Makepeace in Ibiza.
And me, Richie Pryor in Mallorca. Hello, Mark.
Good morning, mate. How are you?
Well, it's good afternoon where I am. I don't know if I know Ibiza's a little bit further behind than us, but you know.
We're literally stuck in the last century, mate, these days, aren't we? Good afternoon, Richie. How's life?
Well, yes, we're back on grid, Mark. I think you'll find.
I like back on grid. I mean, there's only one place to start, isn't it? I'm just looking through the press today, Richie. I don't think I've ever seen so much press devoted to one occurrence because it's literally on the first 30 pages.
It was like the pandemic returned, wasn't it?
Oh,
Eh?
no, don't say that, Rich.
Yeah, I mean, look, supermarkets emptied of food and drink and God knows what. No beer in Benidorm. I mean, come on, look at these headlines. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
I
Do you
saw
know what
that.
I mean?
No beer in Benidorm, as if that's ever going to happen.
Well, I mean, there is such thing as a bottle of beer. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not being funny.
Did you suffer any outage at all in Mallorca?
We had problems with our internet and a
Yeah.
couple of problems with the telephones. But other than that, no actual outage of power or anything like that. I think I didn't know if you know, but we actually do have our own grid. And I
Yeah,
think you do in Ibiza as
yeah,
well. So it didn't actually
exactly.
affect us, which makes it actually cheers me up to hear that we have got one of those. I didn't know we
Well,
did.
well, sometimes the Balearics do kind of drag behind the rest, don't they? But on this occasion, because we have a, so I was reading about it this morning. I didn't know this either, but obviously after what happened, I've done a little bit of research as you do for the podcast.
Mm.
And Ibiza and Formentera have got its own grid, and Mallorca and Menorca has its own grid, don't they? So we didn't suffer any outages whatsoever. I think there was issues with the internet and the phone system, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think two things on that. One is obviously, I mean, I imagine it's the same in Ibiza, but every time we have a storm here, we always do seem to get a power cut, to be perfectly
Yes,
honest. A
yes,
storm.
yeah.
And the other thing on that is that I think what I did read also is that I think it was lucky that it occurred in April. If it had been, say, August, we probably would have got a power cut because of there was so much drain on the system as there would have been in August because obviously not all the hotels are open yet. Everything else is not firing on all cylinders right now. So I think if it had have occurred in high season, we might well have got a power cut.
Yeah, I think so, Rich. I mean, same over here. If there's any big storm, then the electric goes off. It's a little. I used to live in India back in the 90s. A bit the same in India, mate. We're on the similar levels, aren't we? The Balearics in India. So it's any storm. I think for the UK people, they'll find that very strange to understand, won't they? But a big storm,
Yeah,
electricity goes off straight away. But I think on this occasion, having our own grid actually made
yeah,
made.
it was easier.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, which is nice to hear. I mean, it was chaos all over the Spain, though. Did you hear the reports?
Yeah. I mean, as I say, but I was watching the news. Stores clearing themselves out in Madrid, and obviously, yeah. But we talked about Benidorm, which was quite funny. The headline it was the front page of the Sun this morning. No beer in Benidorm, and yeah, it was all sort of back to how it was pandemic time when we all sort of first found out we are getting locked down. If you remember.
I was quite smirky today, though, Rich, when I heard the headlines that most of Spain were in trouble and we weren't really affected at all. So, it's not often that Balearics come out on top, is it? So,
No, that's true. That is true.
I think we should celebrate this small victory.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Definitely so. Definitely so.
What else you
But
got? What,
listen,
what else you got for me, Richie?
actually, to be honest with you, again, Mark, this week I'm not.
What?
Well, no, yeah. Well, look, I'll tell you what I have got. I've got the boat show because
Yeah.
it's something that I've never really done too much on before because obviously I'm not involved in the sort of the boating world, but we got invited. This is the radio. We got invited to do a couple of live broadcasts, a couple of different stands, and we thought it'd be a good opportunity for us to do something different and go out and meet some people as well, which is fun. But what I did find out today when I was wandering around the fair, because it's obviously all been built right now. It's open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I think Saturday as well. And we're live on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's the fourth biggest boat show in the whole of Europe. So it's. I mean, when I was looking around, there's a lot of money being spent in and
Yeah.
around that area when you go around the
Yeah.
stands. and look at all the boats that are in that particular area as well. It's a lot of money, and that's good for the economy.
Well, boating is money, and one thing,
Mm.
I've got a very small boat, as you know, Richie. So, one thing the Balearics have is just amazing boating waters. Because if you go to the mainland, I've done boating on the mainland, I've done boating in other places, and I don't think I've ever been really. They say that the only place probably that's better than the Balearics is Sardinia, around that area there, Sardinia and Sicily around there, which is supposed to be absolutely glorious for boating. But boating is money rich, isn't it? It's big money, and it brings big money into the islands. We've got several marinas here in Ibiza. You've got plenty over there in Mallorca, haven't you? And
Yeah.
when you walk around them, it's a vibrant economy. Even during bad times, it's a vibrant economy. So something I think we probably don't blow our trumpet for enough, really, because boating brings in lots of money for the local economies.
Yeah, well, there's two things really. There's obviously, the charter business in the summertime. Obviously, when people come here in the summer and people are going out and hiring boats, etc., with that for a day basis or a weekly basis or whatever. So that keeps obviously the crews and the owners of the boats happy. But in the winter time, then you've got the refit side of things, which is massive in Palma, particularly, where boats are being repainted or refitted with motors or whatever they're being done, and it does have one of the biggest refitting areas in the whole of Europe as well in Palma. So it's and it keeps obviously a lot of people employed. It's an all year round business. And I always remember my old boss used to say to me, he says, "There's two good days when you buy a boat. It's the day you buy it and the day you sell it." Although you do have a bit of fun in between, I know you
Well,
do. I mean?
well, listen, you've got to have the good times, because it's not a cheap pursuit. I always remember when I was a kid going to Mallorca and coming on the transfer coach, and the rep saying, "Look over there, that's the king of Spain's boat over there." So you have a royal boat over there as well, don't you? Or part of the royal family in Palma. So it's a massive economy, and over here as well. Some of my family work in boats, and as I said, it's eye-watering money, but it's really good for the economy. Tell me a little bit about your radio station, Rich. If you're broadcasting from the boat show, just remind me of your radio station again, please.
So it's Wave Mallorca Radio. We are on FM and DAB online, and obviously on your smart speakers as well. And so basically what we do, we take a little bit of kit with us. It's something new to me, totally new to me, that our technical guys have got behind. And basically we just switch it on and off we go. So it could be quite interesting tomorrow. I'm just making sure saying that, and then we don't go live tomorrow. But we've got a backup plan anyway. We know what we're going to do if we have a problem. That's the only thing sometimes you worry about the internet. Obviously, with yesterday, obviously, happening. If that had happened during the boat show, obviously we would have gone off air. It
was chaos, wasn't it?
So yeah,
I saw the Madrid Tennis Open got stopped for a while as well, didn't it? So it really affected all parts of the life in the capital city of Spain.
Everything, and people couldn't pay for anything on pay machines and everything else. You know what I mean? There was no way. You couldn't draw money out because the banks were down. It was. All of a sudden our world sort of, was turned upside down. It was
strange,
mad.
wasn't it? Strange, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else I've got over here, Rich. I've got a couple of not so good stories. I've got the stories of we had our first death in San Antonio this week from balconing, which
really?
which is not great. And I just want to talk a little bit about that, and also a little bit of fallout from the clubbing weekend as well, mate. So
But there has been I know that there has been a government campaign, the UK government, along with the British consul and with the sort of the Balearic government as well, to sort of cure. They have this thing, sort of keep your friends together, don't let anybody go off on their own, because that's when these sort of things happen, isn't it? People. And then people get lost, and and things people do things. Obviously, it's drink involved. They do things they would never normally do at home, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, actually, I spoke to a British consulate today to see if they were still doing their campaign, which was called "Stick with Your Mates." If you remember,
Stick with your mates. That's
Stick with your mates. And basically, what they're saying is that you just look after each other. Really, I mean. Unfortunately, in the places that we are in Magaluf, in San Antonio, and in Playa Arenal, Playa de Palma, it's majority young people, and young people go out and enjoy themselves, and they can make mistakes. Now, this is a classic case. What happened over the last couple of days over here is a classic case. Now, In fact, I actually rang into the Nick Ferrari show a few months ago to talk about this as well, believe it or not, because what happened was it was actually an Italian passport holder. She'd been out all night, only 19 years of age, had been out all night, gone to a club, came back to a hotel, got a bit disorientated, got a bit lost in her big hotel, and tried to jump from one balcony to another and slipped from the fourth floor down, and unfortunately was had an accident, and when the crew came, there was nothing they could do to save her. Now, what you've got to remember if you listen at home, first and foremost, it's always or predominantly young people, should I say, young people from the age of maybe 18 to 25 or 18 to 29, something like that. And secondly, what's really important, Rich, is it's usually the first or second day of their holiday. Now, this lady, this young girl, should I say, who lost her life, she'd only been on the island 12 hours or 15 hours. So unfortunately, she's the typical case of coming on the island, going mad, going straight to a club, being disorientated, just basically unlucky because she got disorientated, tried an easy way to get back to her room and fell from the fourth floor balcony. I mean, it's a horrendous way to go, isn't it? And think about our poor parents. So if you are thinking of coming to the island, just take it easy on the first day, because everyone goes mad, don't they, Rich? I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been hearing some horror stories about the flights coming over.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're in April, aren't we? I mean, we're still in April, and I've heard some horror stories. Flights, just drunk and disorderly on flights, smoking, playing music, drinking the bar dry. I just think we just have to calm down a little bit now, Rich. Otherwise, we are going to be reporting on a disaster sooner or later.
Yeah, I mean, what is the solution? The solution in reality is to ban alcohol on planes. Obviously, I imagine the airlines, it's a good profit thing for them. They probably don't want to do that. Do you know what I mean? Likewise at the airport. I mean, what you see people at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning when they're getting on an early flight. They're in your Weatherspoons, giving it large. So it's not each their own. It's not my thing, to be perfectly honest. But I know a lot of people like to have a drink because they're going on holiday. I get that, but not 10 pints before you get on the plane, type of thing, really. But there needs to be something done, because you're right. Something's going to happen at 35,000 feet up, and it's not going to be pretty.
Something's going to happen soon, Rich. I think it goes hand in hand. If you start your holiday out on this kind of let's go berserk on the flight, when you get to Ibiza or Mallorca picks up the pieces of that, and also in many ways the airline just absolves its blame. There you go. You're in Ibiza now. You're in Mallorca now. See you later. It's not our problem anymore. And you've got these kind of wild people running around like lunatics. And as I said, I've had several messages off people in the last week saying the flights are just absolutely horrendous, especially the low-cost carriers. We know who they are. They don't seem to be controlling their passengers very well. They seem to be plying them with drinks, and they don't really care. It's profit-driven. It's not safety-driven, Rich. It's profit-driven. And I think this is the real issue. And sooner or later, someone's going to open a door, and there's going to be a real disaster. And I really hope I'm wrong, but I've got a horrible feeling that I'm right. And this goes hand in hand with people arriving on the island just going mad as well. So guys and girls, if you are coming over, just take it easy, especially if you're here for a weekend. It's a marathon, not a sprint, so just take it easy on the flights. I don't want to sound like a headmaster, but there's too much reporting of horrible things happening in resorts, so just take it easy.
Agreed.
Club opening weekend went well, Richie, in Ibiza.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of around and about, and it was very busy.
I saw you at Oceans Beach, actually.
Yeah, I went to O Beach and had I had a bit of a corporate do on, so I was there in an official capacity, as you do.
Yeah, whatever. Official capacity.
It was the soft. Yeah, no, it was a soft opening. It's the official opening this Friday. They did the big Dolt Villa party, where it looked wonderful. It looked amazing, and I saw the videos from Ushuaia High, Pasha. So it was a cracking weekend, and I'm really pleased to report as well. Not a lot of problems over the weekend as well. It looked like it all went off really well. A few smatterings of incidents, as it always is with thousands of young people going to club opening parties, but really it seemed to have gone down with minimal fuss. And I'm really pleased with that. And we're off to a start, and we're off to a start in April, Rich. Can you believe it?
No, yeah, I mean that's great for Ibiza, isn't it? Obviously, it's your really sort of your drive of business here on the island, isn't it? And if they can extend it, all the better for you guys. I think that's great.
Well, if you think of the old days, Richie, the clubs opened at the end of May and finished at the end of September. Now they start at the end of April and they finish at the start of October. So we've
Mm.
probably got 5 or 6 weeks extra than we used to have 15, 20 years ago. So,
Yeah.
and once the club's open, then obviously the island opens as well. So, really good weekend. Please report that it went down very well and Ibiza's back in business, baby.
But Universe isn't open. Yeah,
No,
it's June,
30th, mate. No, Friday the
30th of
30th.
May.
They've got an
Okay,
amazing lineup as well, 30th of May. Um,
30th of May. Okay.
yeah, I'm glad to say I'm away that weekend, so I won't be
All right.
going there. So, but before we go, big match tonight. This is obviously Tuesday. By the time this comes out tomorrow morning, the result will be there. So, quick prediction of Arsenal versus PSG at the Emirates.
Yeah, it could be an interesting game. I think I'm quite, I don't know why, but I'm quite confident. Actually, I was more confident than I was against Real Madrid in the first game. Obviously, after the first game, I was a lot more confident. But I'm confident. I think we can do a job on them tonight.
Okay.
I'll go 2-0 to the Arsenal. If we can leave there for 2-0, I'll be very happy.
I'm going for a little cheeky 2-1 to the Gooners, mate, because I think they've got a lot of pace. I know you've got some pace in the back as well, but I think they're going to nick a little goal off you. But I think you'll come back strong. So I'm going 2-1 Arsenal, ready for the return leg in Paris next week, which would be good.
Well, one thing I want to say, Mark, before I go, because we always like to talk about football on here towards the end of the podcast and local football as well, is that Mallorca played Barcelona last week, lost by 1-0. But 4 of the starting 11 of Mallorca were from Mallorca and Ibiza. I don't know if you know, we've got an Ibithenken, is that what you call yourselves?
Ibithenken, yeah. Ibithenken
Yeah.
player. Yeah.
So we started with Sergio Darder, Antonio Sanchez, and Mateo Morey, who they were the starters. And the goalkeeper, Leo Roman, is from Ibiza.
Yeah, Leo Roman, you bought him from Pena, mate.
Okay, so and he was man of the match, mate.
Yeah,
He was man of the match. He made some absolutely stunning saves.
Oh, fantastic! Well, we spoke about him a few years ago in our football podcast.
Yeah, I
Rich.
don't remember talking about him before.
Yeah,
but
he was a youngster. He's been at Mallorca for a while now, and it looks like he's pushing for the first team. So fantastic! Always good when the Ibiza takes over Mallorca.
So four people from the Balearics, and then substitute wise, we then brought on Abdon Prats, who's from Arta in Mallorca. We also brought Mark Domenech, who played with my son a couple of years ago for San Francisco, and we also brought on another one called Danny Lopez as well. He is a centre back, and he's from San Francisco as well.
Wow!
So 2 boys from San Francisco got onto the pitch against Barcelona, which I don't know who they all replaced actually, because I don't know what particular time all these guys came on, but it's a fantastic thing for local football. Do you know what I mean? For all those players to be playing, against Barcelona in particular as well. It's fantastic.
Amazing. So I mean, really good for local football, and the more local influence players that play, the better, because it's just a really good thing for the youngsters coming through to see, isn't it? So fantastic.
Yeah.
Udi Ibiza won, which was good. On Sunday night. My local team, Port Manny, struggling. I'm afraid they lost against Midjourn, the club that's been relegated for about a month or so. They lost against that, a 97th minute winner for Midjourn. So
no.
2 games ago, they've got to get at least 3 points, Rich. So anyway, fingers crossed. Let's hope we can do that.
Yeah, good luck to those guys.
Okay, mate. Really good.
Take care, Mark. Good to see you as always.
I'm off to Bilbao Thursday to watch United.
Oh, are you?
I've had a little sneaky invite, so I'll be reporting back about that next week, mate. So
I'd be interested to know 2 things really. Obviously, how the food is, because the food apparently, obviously, up there is supposed to be great, both meat and fish. Yep. And the stadium, I've been told, the atmosphere is amazing.
Apparently 72,000 that stadium holds, mate. So
which is where the final's being held as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it. I will tell all next week, Rich.
All right, mate. Have a good trip.
Great to see you, mate.
See you, mate. See you soon.
Bye now.
Take care.